I fainted on stage, guys. A woman heckled me and I then fainted, so it looked like a heckle knocked me out.
Did you get hurt?
No, I just woke up on the floor and a doctor came out the crowd and was like, "What have you eaten today?" And I was like, "A veggie burger." He goes, "That's not enough," and then walked off. Hello and welcome to Chris and Carl's Edinburgh Hangouts from the biggest arts festival in the world, the Edinburgh Festival.
2013.
2013, get the year in there in case people are watching this
Just in case you're
10
watching
years
in the
down the
future.
line.
This is going online, mate. People could be watching this in the future, seeing what 2013 was
They're
like.
going to be looking back at this thinking, look at those Stone Age
a lot of
idiots.
lesson print going around 2013.
Let's introduce our guests first.
Go on.
Let's go for our first guest. Is very funny, Mr. Josh Widdicombe. Little round of applause for Josh Widdicombe. Hi, Josh.
Hello, how are you?
We're good, man. How are you feeling today?
Fragile. Let's be
Fragile. It's a week into the festival.
The Fringe does that to you, mate. There's a lot of pressure up here.
I saw you last night for the first time, and your quote was, "I'm really enjoying drinking at the moment."
It's good. Because it's the one time when you don't really have much to do during the day. Like for the last couple of months.
So you just drink during the day as well.
Just during the day.
Josh Widdicombe treating the biggest arts festival in the world like an 1830s holiday. And we've also got the very funny Joe Lycett, very funny man. Hello. Hi, Joe.
Hello.
You're in a bar. Are you in a bar now?
Yeah, I'm in the abattoir bar.
Are you herring of the dogging?
Yeah.
Or are
No,
you...
I'm having a coffee. It's free in here.
What?
Free coffee?
For artists, let's not say the public cannot go down there. That's a performance bar.
There'll be a very long queue.
It's my piano there.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little
you
tune
just-
for you later.
Can you play?
You knock a tune out on the old Joanna. Sorry.
And we've also got our third and final performing guest is Mr. Des O'Connor.
Des O'Connor, King of Cabaret. Is that
King of
correct?
Cabaret.
King of Cabaret.
King of Cabaret.
Is that a correct term for you, Des?
Yeah, that's my correct term.
Literally the King of Cabaret.
You also Feel My Pain, famous man's name.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we struggle through.
Do you address it on stage?
I occasionally mention it. It's one of these things I've kind of... I think nowadays there's a whole generation of younger people who don't really know who Des O'Connor is, which is quite good. So it's sometimes slightly embarrassing when I reference Des O'Connor. So I think I am slowly becoming the Des O'Connor.
We've got not only just guests, as I said, we've got some other weird things. We've got a thing called Street Cam.
Street Cam.
Which is basically that camera that goes out
Street
around
Cam?
the streets of Edinburgh.
Street.
Showing you what it's like to actually be up here. Is that the Royal Mile?
That is a man flying a rubbish kite.
Oh, God. You know, sometimes you get these student-y types up here doing their shows.
Yeah.
They need to promote it, so what they do is they sit on a ladder and wave a flag around.
No, I think it's a small bird.
It's presumably the seagull that they're doing, is it? And that
It is
is,
a
and that's the seagull.
all right, Des, well done. It is a man flying a small seagull around, and he's not getting a lot of
Did
takers.
anyone just see that? A guy in a bear suit just walked past the camera.
Did it?
Yeah.
There's a guy with a mohawk.
Yeah.
He likes it.
He loves it.
He's loving a seagull.
Can't get
And it's a woman. Oh dear. Where are you living, Joe? Because accommodation is a big thing up here. Have you got a nice flat? Who are you living with?
I've got a lovely flat actually. I'm living with John Robbins, the wonderful comedian. And
Don't get me started on living with that guy. Do not get me started on living with that guy.
Why? I've never lived with him before. So it's actually
3 years ago, I was romancing a lady, and he came into my room with a fire extinguisher and set it off. And I'm going to level with you, that girl was terrified.
I lived with him the following year.
What did he do to you?
I remember phoning you up, Chris, to see what the whether it was a terrible decision, and you couldn't really couldn't reassure me.
I've seen his penis every day.
Yeah, he walks around not about
What is wrong with
naked.
him? There's something wrong with that.
He also, like, on day one, I was like, "Did you eat my yogurt?" And he goes, "I do steal food." That doesn't make it okay to be like, okay, that's just one of the things I do.
It's just me, guys.
I
That
didn't
and
realise
CO2 extinguishers.
that he was such a big, like everyone had lived with him, and and had stories about it.
Well, it's because every year he has to find new flatmates. It's a good place to see sort of strange things out and about. So what we've been trying to do is get some photos of them so that we can share them with the world. You've got one.
I went pre-gig to get rid of some nerves and found that someone had clearly eaten a banana on the toilet. Which is like...
I think I probably drunk tea on the toilet.
Drunk tea on the toilet?
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
This is weird. I find it weirder to eat in the bath than I would on a toilet.
I've had an apple in the shower before. I have. Mate, it's constantly being cleaned.
The next photo is something I saw yesterday, and look at this poster. Look, it's the best placing of an air freshener I've ever seen.
That's amazing.
Oh, who's the air freshener replacing?
The air freshener is Robert De Niro.
That's De Niro.
But it's just, that is a great photo, isn't it?
That is amazing.
That's clearly, that day, if you want to see that live,
I want to see that film.
Pop down to the Brass Monkey pub.
Have you ever had that with your post? I had a poster last year with a piece of scaffolding right down the middle of my face.
Right.
And you just thought, I don't even know how they've got that poster up.
Yeah.
They've had to use special equipment.
When I saw that, I did come up with a line. Do you know the opening line to Goodfellas when he says, as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster? Just the opening line was, as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be an air freshener. And the film begins. We've also got a thing called Barcam, which I think is over at the Pleasance Courtyard, and is currently being manned by Andy.
Hello, yeah, I am here, and we are at a bar.
We believed you, mate. You didn't have to show us the actual bar. It'd be a weird thing to be lying about.
Just to make you jealous.
Are you actually having a drink at the minute? An alcoholic beverage?
Not yet, no, but I am in the queue, and I think people are queuing the other side of me thinking I'm in the queue. I'm causing chaos at the bar.
I'd be definitely annoyed if there was a bloke on his laptop in the queue for the bar in front of me.
We thought we'd do a little bar cam challenge, Andy, if you're up for this.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see.
You're in the courtyard right now. Is there plenty of people milling around?
Yeah, there's enough people, yeah.
You've got to try and find a lookalike, the best lookalike of either me, Chris, Josh, Joe or Des. If you can find somebody that looks like one of us and show us their face on camera, we'll give them a pair of tickets to our end of festival show review of the reviews.
I'll go on the hunt for a lookalike now.
Don't say hunt, it makes it sound menacing.
Yeah.
I texted Carl Donnelly the other morning going, 1 watermelon, 10 pineapples, unlimited bowling for £11.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought this. Have a look at this. 1 watermelon, 10 pineapples. See right?
There you go. So we actually had a game of pineapple bowling.
Pineapple bowling. Yeah, have you guys got any other ways you've been killing time in your flat?
It's Josh.
I've been in my flat that much. No, last year I got addicted to Bejeweled on my phone.
Lad. Bloody lad.
Bloody hell. Lock up your daughters. Particularly if there's 3 of them in a row and at the same time.
Joe Lycett, what do you do to kill time?
I've had a really weird discovery yesterday. I've always, for my whole life...
See a doctor about that, mate.
Well, I might do, actually, because for my whole life, when I've seen people turning paper or using paper in a very diligent way, I get this weird thing on my head where I get like this sort of lovely sensation in my head that like builds. And I thought it was just this weird thing that I have, and I've discovered yesterday that it's this common, well not that common, but a few people have it. It's called ASMR, and it's like a braingasm basically. It's non-sexual, but it's like this amazing sensation in your head. And there are trigger videos online that I discovered yesterday. So I've been watching genuinely yesterday I discovered this, like 2-3 hours of watching a woman folding towels and just going out of my mind.
That's hilarious to think that if you ever watch pornography you get more excited about them packing up the linen at the end of it.
Yeah, no, honestly though, it's a thing, and there's like loads of people get it from whispering and from watching people wrap presents. Izzy Sooty has it as well. Well, the come down is you're just so relaxed. apparently it's not, because I've never taken drugs. Apparently it's sort of not dissimilar to when you do like ecstasy. Apparently, like that sort of feeling in your head. Apparently.
Wow.
But I just get it from watching people use paper.
That's a nice message to all the kids watching. Don't take drugs.
Don't
Fold
take drugs,
towels.
just fold towels.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to be watching later today to give yourself a trigger?
There's one of a woman who pretends that she's a librarian,
Just
and
doing that.
basically, yeah, sort of. And she shows you books, and she sort of whispers to you and says, "Oh, I got the books that you wanted." And it sounds sexual, but it's not in any way. If it ever starts to feel sexual, it kills it. And like she just like flicks through the books.
So basically, if you walk into a library, you're an absolute gibbering mess.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Where are we now on the
Let's
street?
click on the street, on the mean streets of Edinburgh.
What is this? A human statue?
I hope so.
What do you think she does to people in her bowl?
Or King Midas has been in town.
I reckon she spins around, does one full revolution.
I love people's reactions to stuff like
Yeah,
this.
look at this guy.
Oh, he loves it.
Oh, hello. He's loving it.
But that is a rubbish photo. Just take a photo of an actual statue rather than a woman in paste.
Let's go make some money. Here we go.
Oh, what was that?
Did she just do that Usain Bolt thing?
Yeah. Josh's photo. That is a funny photo of comedian James Acaster.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I've never seen him look like that. He looks like an actual lad.
And I went on my phone. That's the only one I've taken since I got to Edinburgh for some reason.
That is an
And I
incredible
don't really know what he's doing. That's actually not his fist. That's someone about to punch him.
Des, you obviously, me, Josh, Joe, and Chris are stand-ups, so we will probably know more about that. But you probably know some wacky and more interesting things.
Well, yeah, it's always. I mean, we're obviously here doing Viva Cavalry, and so just over 3 shows, we've already had about 30 different guests and different sort of acts and artists from Fringe. Red Bastard we had on last night. Has anyone seen him yet?
Who? No.
A guy called Red Bastard. He's from New York, and he's kind of. He's got this huge, almost inflatable body, and he just generally comes on stage and kind of rants at the audience for a while, and then gets them to do strange and bizarre things. But it's a sort of, it's like a little mini psychological journey that he takes them on, and it's kind of audience participation, but taken to the most amazingly insane and infectious degree. I really, really highly recommend him.
Josh.
The things I've seen that are really great. I saw in preview Charlie Baker's show.
It sounds amazing.
It's absolutely the best fun you will ever have. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
What happens in it?
I'm a massive
He
fan of
sings.
Charlie.
He sings the 13 biggest selling songs of the last 13 years, and it's just so much fun.
Joe.
I really want to see Carl Schultz, who has a show called Start the Carl.
Right.
And he does like character acts, and he's brilliant. I've seen him do gigs at other places, and he's just really wacky and a bit weird. And I like that sort of thing.
There's a guy over here that looks kind of like Des, actually. Hi there. I'm actually doing a show on it's Google Hangouts, and I've been told to find a lookalike, and you look kind of like one of the guests we've got on. So I just need to show you your face.
Nothing like him.
I'll see.
That's uncanny.
That's a good.
We'll see if we can get you some tickets. I'll be 2 seconds.
That's a good one.
I don't know. It was as good as I could get.
He could
So
probably come on my
basically-
show tonight. That's uncanny.
Well done. So that man wins some tickets to our show by looking really like Des O'Connor.
Thanks to Andy for just hanging out in the courtyard.
Thanks to Andy for scaring members of the public.
Yes.
Josh Widdicombe, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you despite your hangover for persevering. Joe Lycett, thank you, and have fun looking at the towel section of Debenhams after this.
Oh, yeah.
And let's just finish off our debut Google Hangout with a lovely song from the Mr. Des O'Connor.
She's got a look that'll capture your attention for every crazy reason you could ever think to mention. If it's angled, it's been pierced, and if it's pierced, then it's been stretched. She's a little metal hedgehog in a dress. She's been plucked, waxed, treated with a laser. At the Operation doesn't seem to hurt her or to phase her, though the hair may disappear and then it reappears again. Problems underneath the rib vein. She's got a lovely pair of eyes beneath the makeup. Makeup's always in the way. She's got perfect skin. It's hidden in foundation. Everywhere she's nearly up the day. And now the vices that she idolizes never see fruition, although her body's modified beyond all recognition. Pretty little Miss Dysmorphia, you're gonna have to learn to love yourself. Yes, you are. You have to learn to love yourself. One more time. You have to learn to love yourself. Love yourselves, beautiful people. Thank you.
Whee!